Hello and welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother Breakdown. You might notice that I am joined by another very glamorous woman here right next to me, my partner in crime, Flick. She is on a secret mission, but we'll be back later this week to fill us in on everything that's gone on while she's been away. But I'm joined instead by Deputy Showbiz Editor at The Sun on Sunday, Emily Webber, and very good friend. She is going to be amazing today. So, last night's episode, what did we think?
I loved it. I think Louis is just positioning himself as the meddler of the group. Like, he's just running between everyone, and I was just here for that. But I really liked it, and I thought actually Ekin-Su came across quite reserved and shy. I don't know if you thought that as well. I feel like since seeing her in Love Island, last night was like a completely different Ekin-Su. Like, in some points I was like, that doesn't even seem like Ekin, like the Ekin that we sort of know, who's very like outspoken, quite loud, you know, not afraid of getting her opinions across. Totally. She seemed quite reserved.
Although Flick and I were having a bit of a Barney about this yesterday, which is mainly the reason that she's not here today. Kicked her off. But we were saying that, so I said that perhaps it was being a little bit disingenuous, the way that she has kind of made these chats happen so early on with the older housemates. And I don't like to gang up on you and Flick, but I've been speaking to Sally Morgan. Okay. You know, Psychic to the Stars, the Sally Morgan. Yes. She's a former Celebrity Big Brother housemate. She's going to be on this podcast later on. So that's just a tease. But she did back me up on this point. Okay. She's not quite sure whether it is really genuine or not with Ekin. She loves her, but like I do, but she's not 100% it's genuine.
I love the fact that within about 10 minutes she went up to Louis and Sharon, what advice have you got for me?
Tell me about, but we would do that. We would do that. I can actually see us.
We would do that. Down. I'd be like, right, let's be here for the career talk right now. But honestly, like, fair play. Like, she's got her plan. Like, she's going in there to make the connections, and like, she did it. But maybe Sally's right, you know, like
Sally is always right, Emily. I'm sorry, she's always right.
And I don't know who said it last night, but maybe it was David, and he was like, well, everyone's going to be nice on the first episode. Everyone's going to be nice. It's the first day, you know.
Like, taking their makeup
off. Like, no one's just going to walk in there and just be mean and, you know, just mouthing off and stuff like that. So I think obviously there's time for Ekin-Su to be full Ekin-Su crawling through the villa mode. But yeah,
I don't think it's necessarily about her being not a nice person. I think she is really kind. I've met her loads of times. She's so lovely. But I just think she knows what she's doing, and she's a proper reality TV star queen, and it wants to learn off the best. So she's going to those kind of older characters and seeping in all of their knowledge and wisdom. And I think that she's playing it right. She wants to make sure that she can get all of her vulnerabilities across, that she's likeable, because she did go out quite early on Dancing on Ice.
She did. That's very true.
I don't think her audience of like the fans of Love Island particularly, like, it didn't move over as smoothly as maybe she was expecting. Yeah, because she wasn't bad on Dancing on Ice.
No, and she had a very sexy outfit. Yeah. She had all the characteristics to be actually a really good contestant on Dance on Ice. I feel like on Dance on Ice you only see so much of someone's personality. Essentially they're skating. So maybe Big Brother will be the place that she can you know, be her authentic self, perhaps.
And she's sort of a girl she's so beautiful. You know, you just look at her and think everything's perfect, and she wants to show you that actually no, she's not completely perfect. She's got these imperfections. She's got these insecurities. And that makes her more likeable in a way to all of us watching at home in our pajamas and eating pizza and like looking at her looking like that. You know, it makes you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when maybe it was, I forgot who it was, Nikita maybe, and they were like, you're so glamorous doing the dishes or whatever. Yeah. And she was like, wait till like day 5 and I've got my like slippers. She's got, I don't know, she said she's got loads of pairs of slippers with her.
Yeah, I was obsessed with that. I was like, where do you keep them? Because there's quite a lot of, they're like huge slippers.
Exactly. But I don't know, like, yeah, maybe she'll be like knocking on Sharon's door to like use her Sharon, like, and everything, her little like private space.
She could do the Love Island crawl, the famous crawl to Sharon's
crawling across
room.
to Sharon.
Yes, I'm obsessed with Sharon's room, and obviously just her in general, because she just owns every conversation. Everyone's literally hanging on to her every word, and she does have that kind of presence of that. She's obviously one of us on Talk TV as part of News UK, where we're filmed, where we are filming, and she's got that kind of presence about her where she can really hold the conversation without saying too much. You know, she really takes in everything, and she listens, and then she reflects, then she speaks. You know, it's not her first thought as out of her mouth. Whereas Louis Walsh,
Louis
is just one of a kind, isn't he?
He is. And obviously when you look at pictures from X Factor days, obviously he looks a lot younger, but I don't know how you feel. I feel like he hasn't aged. I feel like he's always been that do you know what I mean? He looks the same person. Like
totally.
he looks exactly like he did about
like that in his 20s.
This is what I mean. I can't imagine him looking any different. But yeah, obviously last night he sort of threw Sharon under the bus, as you
totally
reminded me about.
Totally threw her under the bus, but in a really brilliant way, because I think he obviously just likes gossiping and stirring the pot, which is brilliant for us viewers. But I think he was sort of getting a little bit mixed up with it as he was going on. I think he forgot that he'd actually nominated Zizi. So he's in a conversation with, who was it? Zizi and one of the girls, I've forgotten, Marisha.
Yeah.
So they're all like chatting away, and Zizi's obviously taken this very personally, which you would if you've been put up for eviction within like 30 minutes of being in there. And he just starts going, yeah, I just went on who I didn't like. And Zizi's like, right, so you didn't like me? Oh, actually, well, it was Sharon.
I love that.
Sharon. It's like, poor Sharon now is taking like all of that. But he didn't need to tell her in that kind of way.
No.
Because he then suddenly just went, oh, that's all I can say.
That would be me.
You realise you put your foot in it.
Basically, you didn't like me first impression.
Can't see any more? No, can't see any more.
That's so sad. They didn't like me.
I didn't say anything. It wasn't up to me. It was Mrs. O. I was just her assistant.
But also when he was asking Zizi what she did and like what show she was on, you could just see like that blank. Glazed over. She started to talk about YouTube and he was like, right, okay. Yeah, she hadn't even said Channel 4 and he was like, see you later.
She tried to grasp it.
She tried to get it back.
She was like, come on, Louis, like Channel 4.
Channel
4.
No,
no, it didn't work out.
No.
I think that he's going to be someone that we have to kind of watch out for, that he could potentially be at the centre of arguments. We saw last night the first minor little tiff, which was the row over the beds situation. And he was very dominating. It was going to be his big bed. Yeah. And he wanted to make sure that everyone else knew that he was kind of as important as Sharon. Sharon gets her own room and stuff, but he also gets this big bed, and he's important in that group. And poor Lauren was shoved out of the way.
I know.
She was just lost, sort of looking, where am I going to sleep? She's homeless, practically.
And apparently, because I didn't actually go to the tour, but people that did do the tour of the house said the single beds are so tiny that like you'd be fighting just for the doubles. I think there's 2 doubles and the rest are singles. Oh my God. And they're so narrow that like you'd roll and you'd be on the floor. Like...
I think the bedroom activity is going to be hilarious in there. Yeah. And actually, our own Sally Morgan, she was spilling all of the juice about this, because she was just saying like that there's so many opportunities in that house to sort of to shine, or to put your personality across, or work out these kind of arguments between people, like what sparks them off. It could be the kitchen, it could be in there being not washing up or something, but the bedroom also creates a lot of drama, because people are just very private about their space. So should we hear what she has to say about all of the housemates and about the bedroom situation?
Let's do it.
I do think that Gary, he's already done it, but he's gonna let out a few things that will shock people.
he's the royal soundbite, and at the moment the royals are like, aren't they like that? You know what I mean? They're right up there, world press, not just the UK press, and I think that he's in there really to see if we can, or if they can trick him into telling a few secrets, which I think he's already going to do.
Well, Sharon seemed to sort of really judge him quite well, I thought, because she said he looked out of place, he looked awkward. And then when he confessed in the diary room about being, well, I'm surrounded by these people who are all doing so, you know, they've got these incredible careers. Well, he just feels a bit of a misfit. Do you get that sense?
Well, I do think, I think he does. And I think that he was told, you know, go in there and sort of like give it large. And I think he was just uncomfortable with that, because there's absolutely no doubt the royals have told him to shut up and keep his mouth shut beforehand with other bits and pieces, you know, a few years ago. So I think that him doing this, and I'm sure he's done it, like lots of them in there, for the money. It's a nice bit of money to have, you know, on the understanding that he does, you know, we want some good sound bites out of you. So sure. He's nervous about that, because he doesn't want to give too many away, and he's going to spread that very thinly, like butter onto, and it's almost as if he's thinking about what he's going to say tomorrow about the royals, and everything has to be topical. So he's very aware of that.
Oh, okay. So do you think he's a bit of a game player in that way? He wants the camera attention?
Well, I don't know if he does want the camera attention. I think he wants to give the powers that be what they employed him for. What they said to him, you know, come on, we want you on Big Brother, but you got to do this, and and he wants to give that, because he doesn't want to be accused of anything that he's not giving. But I think that there's a lot of regret, and I think he's going to be quite reticent. He will come out with some real gems, you wait and see, but he's going to be quite reticent about it.
Okay, why do you think that is? What's the regret?
Well, because the regret is going to be that he'll be shunned by the family, if not already.
Mm-hmm. And was it worth that money? Oh, well, interesting.
There you go. This is it. You know, you sell your soul, don't you? Do you know what I mean? You see, all of them will have said before they went in, oh, I'm going to really open up, and I'm really... But you get in there, and all of a sudden it's a bit like, no, I'm not opening up to you. And you know, you forget about the public, and it's all about your housemate or your housemates. And where you sleep is really important as well. The bedroom, because we all know our bedroom's our sanctuary. Mine is, I'm sure yours is. Yeah. Where we go to bed at night is our private space. It's a bit like our car. You know, people that drive, your car is like your private space. And so, you know, they're all sleeping in the same room, except Sharon, of course, who's got... she's got the throne room, and I think that you're going to see how the bedroom and their beds, you see the real person, and you see what that person thinks of the person next to them, without a doubt.
Oh, okay. And is there a bit of a hierarchy there? Because we saw Louis take the main bed, the big bed. He sort of really, and he pushed everyone else out the way for it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, of course. Well, he what it is, it's a bit like, also, he was saying, wasn't he? Sharon's not the only one that's got her own space. I want my own space too. I'm as important as Sharon. That's what he was saying. I mean, he is quite funny. I mean, he's incredibly predictable, Louis. Very, very predictable. But when I look at Louis Walsh, I mean, you know, as much as everybody loves Louis, but I think he's being very mischievous and very precious. And I do think that he's checking himself. He's listening to what he has said. He's watching their reactions, and then he's thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't have been as hard on that person, or maybe I should have been kinder. So, but, you know, at the end of the day, we want people to be genuine, and Louis being genuine at times, it isn't nice.
He's quite harsh, isn't he?
He's quite harsh, and I think that Louis opens his gob when he should keep it shut. But that's what the house does to you. You see, the house will check you. You will want to open your mouth, and then you'll think, whoa. And Louis is already doing that. He's falling over his words. So he's gonna miss Sharon when Sharon goes. He's staying in the whole time, isn't he?
Yeah, and then I think that's going to be such a loss for him, isn't it? She's his sidekick and someone he can trust.
Well, she's his ally. Although I do think that had she stayed in longer, what happens is the house wears you down. You get a little bit worn by it. So your tongue becomes a little bit looser and you suddenly think, do you know what? I don't care what people think. I'm going to say that because that's what I'm feeling. And I do think that had Sharon stayed in there, she would have said to Louis, do you know, Louis, you got to keep your mouth shut at times. So she won't be there to protect him and to check him. And I think that Louis is going to make a lot of faux pas. You wait and see.
There's usually one person in every series, at least one, who sort of makes a bit of a fool of themselves. You know, they do something that perhaps if they could go back in time they wouldn't do. And it's just been that moment of breaking the, I don't know, like kind of they've forgotten the cameras are there perhaps, or you know they just slip up a little bit. Do you predict it will be Louis who may be potentially in trouble about the end of the series and how people actually like him, because he got huge cheers when he went in, but could it be booze on the way out?
Well, I think it will be. Some of it will be booze. And I think that he's going to be quite shocked at that. And, you know, what do they say? You doth profess too much. And he will come out trying to make excuses when really he's better to come out and say, you know, it was tough in there, end of. But, of course, Louis wants to own everything, doesn't he? So it's like he won't apologise for anything.
The Sun, we did a story about how Louis has been bombarded with all of these calls from sort of musicians in the industry and stuff, because they're very concerned that he might blab about their secrets that no one knows about. What do you think that he could do that because he's going to forget the cameras are there and suddenly just starts telling all of these incredible scandals?
I don't think he will tell. I don't think we'll talk about scandals. I think he's very aware that he doesn't want to do that. I think that he's very aware of that. But I do think, because I also think that like anybody, you know, they've got secrets. Louis got secrets. We all know that. I think that he's a very nice person, Louis, but I just think at times his profile, his power, he has a lot of power, the man, you know, he's been around a long time. That can sometimes come before niceties. But the house will check him, and of course they're younger than him in there, so they're a lot more, you know, that they're cooler and they're on point a lot more. So he will he'll have a bit of a shock, but it's a shame because I like him. I like Louis. I've always liked Louis Walsh because he's very open. But I think that when you're in the house, you've got to play the game. If you don't play the game, then you're going to have a downfall.
What do you think to Ekin-Su and her opening up so quickly to some of the older housemates?
Well, I think that, you see, I think she's playing a game. I like her, but I think she's playing a game as well. You know, I think she wants to be, oh, can you be nice to me? Like, I need a mum. I need somebody to comfort me. Like, I need to be in that circle as well. She wants to please everyone. And I think that she could come a cropper, as we say in Fulham. She could definitely come a cropper. So, but I do like her because I don't think there's any harm in her. But I think that she needs to embrace everyone, and it's too early to choose sides. Much too early. Because it's the people that you don't expect that will be your allies, that will turn out to be your allies in the house.
Sally, love her so much. Do also want a free reading.
Yes.
I don't know if she's up for this, if she's now watching herself back and she can give me...
If she could just come in and just give us all a reading,
I know, because I was thinking, like, I was going through all of them and asking her about everyone. I was like, I really want to know about my life too, Sally.
Yeah.
Because she's just a legend, isn't she?
For sure.
So she was predicting that, you know, Louis is going to be, he could be potentially in a bit of trouble. She thinks Gary is going to be one of the first ones out. So what are your thoughts about early predictions? We've got all of the betting companies coming in now. Ladbrokes have said that they see Colson Smith as a real favourite, which it was funny because Sharon almost nominated him, which I was annoyed about her for.
Yeah.
They see Lauren as someone that's like a complete outsider, which I do see Zizi and Gary. But Lauren being the one that they just think she could be like gone.
Yeah, that's interesting because I think, obviously, I used to watch Real Housewives of Cheshire. It was always on, that was my thing. And obviously the infamous dinner parties that they had, you know, they're not afraid of speaking their mind. And I feel like, you know, if she's still going to be that character, she's not going to hold back in those, you know, discussions, rows, if there's any sort of drama over bed, sleeping, food. I feel like that's a huge one in the house. So I think she, like, love Coulson to bits, but is he really going to be at the centre of, like, you know, the drama? Probably not, because he's such a nice guy.
But he'll be one of those that just
cruises through.
Right through
and also, final. You know, soaps, Corrie, everybody loves, you know, his character. So I feel like maybe that will win people over.
I've actually loved all of his co-stars kind of backing him. Like
I know.
Sally Ann Matthews in particular on Twitter. She keeps, like, you know, when Louis said something not very nice about Coulson, she's straight on there. She's like, right, that's me cancelling Louis, and I would be so like that if my friend was in there.
Yeah.
That was great. So yeah, no, I totally agree with you, absolutely. What have we got coming up? I've actually got some teasers for you.
Ooh,
if you would like to
let's
hear
have
them.
the teasers.
So from tonight, we know that Sharon is going to give Gary her killer nomination. So we knew that it was down to the three of them, about that they were in this danger zone, but it's actually Gary that is really now up for eviction, and we'll then find out later how that's all going to play out if they do their normal nominations. Do you think that was the right choice? Would you have gone for him?
It seems like Sharon has really not taken to Gary going in there off the back of him being Kate Middleton's uncle. I feel like she's like, no, like why are you even in here? And you know, she loves the royals. She said last night how she, you know, even though she lives in the States, you know, huge follower of the royals, and I feel like she's
a real royalist,
real royalist.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's just thinking, like, why are you in here? And obviously he's, you know, towing the line that he's in there to, you know, rewrite the narrative of this, like, bad uncle and show people who he really is. Is anyone really sat at home thinking, I really want to know who Gary Goldsmith really is? Like,
I know.
Really? Like,
I know. And you really did see him looking quite out of place.
Really
and
out of
Sharon
place.
did spot that. I think also being, you know, that where Sharon and Louis sat, it's us at home, being able to see them where they think they're being really funny in a conversation, but actually being able to read their body language from afar and seeing them wander between groups and look a little bit lost. I think it was quite obvious with Gary, wasn't it, that he just feels a little bit out of place, that he's not sure that he should be there. And a lot of people have been saying, well, yeah, like, should you be there? You know, is it right that you're spilling the beans? And we heard some really great chat last night about the royals. So I was obsessed with this because I just love hearing anything that I can. But you actually kind of found out that really he's not within the royal circle at all. He never even met Meghan Markle. He struggles to get hold of Kate Middleton. You know, that's difficult, isn't it?
Of course. And also, you know, we've got family members who, you know, wouldn't know the day-to-days of our lives. And obviously, you know, he obviously knew Kate growing up, etc. But I feel like, you know, how many, obviously we're all there for the anecdotes. You know, we love an anecdote, a royal anecdote, I'm there for. But how much more, obviously you said, you know, how much, you know, he loves Kate when he first met William. I don't know how much more are we going to get? He can only say so much. You know, he's not going to be saying anything awful about the royals. So I just think, what is he going to say after, like, day 4?
Yeah, like, is he holding some really good stuff back?
Yeah.
Or has he actually got it all out on launch night, which is actually not that much?
Yeah.
And then therefore, if you've not got that, what are you doing in there? Because that's why you're there. We want to hear all of this gossip and the exclusive inside stuff. So I do think he's like under massive threat, especially now with the killer nomination.
Yeah.
It's obvious that he could be potentially the first to go.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, interesting stuff. And there's some more fun stuff tonight, not just nominations and all that kind of side of it. There's a horse racing task.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so we've got some really great horsey names that are given to the housemates, and I'm obsessed with them. So we've got Ekin-Su.
Love it.
I mean, that's just...
Ekin-Su is the best name to make puns and everything.
It?
Love it.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think that Louis says her name a little bit oddly?
I haven't recognised that.
It sounds like, I don't know, it was like a sort of... I don't know, he just says it. Maybe it's his Irish accent, but it's just like something about it. And I'm like, is he saying Ekin-Su?
I'm going to pick up on that now.
Strictly Come Prancing for our Nikita.
Yeah.
And then David Trots.
Oh, I love it. This is going to be fun. I think it'll be fun to see them doing like tasks and, you know, fun things. That's what we watch Big Brother for. Obviously, the chats are really interesting, but you want to see them making a bit of a fool out of themselves, don't you?
What do you think about David and him being judged, sort of how he was within the first couple of hours, which was very high, like, you know, just kind of screaming and shouting all the time, very excitable, and it seemed to rub everyone up the wrong way slightly.
I think it seems like a little bit of a nervous thing. You know, when people are nervous and sometimes they resort to being like the loudest person in the room to like compensate for the fact that they're actually quite anxious. And I think because he's so used to being that character in a group, he just resorted to being that person. And I don't know if you recognise that last night when he was talking in the diary room, he was like, I always get that. Everybody judges me before they even know me. And really, no one really was judging him. Obviously, I know Sharon and Louis,
but that
was their job, and they were in a separate part of the house. So I think it'll be.
He's obviously aware of
it, and I think. Okay, last night he was a little bit annoying, but he seems really lovely, and I think he like overcomes that nervousness of probably being in a group. You know, there's some really big names in there, and he's probably just a little bit like overwhelmed. And I think he even said last night he doesn't feel comfortable with this celebrity status, and he doesn't regard himself as that. So, but yeah, I feel like he'll be like a good one to have in the group. Yeah, he seems really, really nice guy.
He'll definitely be up for everything. Like, I think he'll shine in the tasks and really want to make the effort and everything. My biggest question, really, and the most important question of the podcast so far is: will he ever wear trousers? Will he ever put some trousers on?
The fake tan.
I mean, I know that when you've got a good tan like that, it is nice to be able to show it off. But, you know, it's still freezing, and there's just no need to be in hot pants.
There is no need.
I don't think I can ever get over Sharon talking about his veg hanging out, meat and veg hanging out. It was just too much.
I was eating my dinner. I didn't need that at the time. I know, bless him. But yeah, he's just going to be shorts and slippers, isn't it? It's not a look.
If he's not on some of Ekin-Su's
like
massive big slippers, animal slippers.
Fun animal slippers.
We've also got a performance tonight.
Oh, okay.
Levi Roots.
Of course.
I don't know if you were expecting sort of Cher to come in, but no, it's Levi Roots.
Okay.
So he's going to be performing for Sharon and Louis, and it's like, you know, obviously a bit of a play on the X Factor and whether they're going to send him through to judges' houses. So that will be entertaining. He seems to have been really likable from the off.
Yeah.
You need those kind of people who are he just seems like a really good energy. He's so smiley and fun. But he does know how to plug it, and then this is again him just showing off about his own song, and you know he's just obviously a great businessman.
Yeah. And last night when he said they were like, how many kids have you got? He was like 8 by like 7 different mums or something. Like, I don't know, like he said something outrageous, and everyone was like, what?
Was he kidding?
I don't know.
I don't actually
his
know about
eldest
this.
is in their 40s, so yeah.
Wow. No wonder he's in there. He needs the cash to like top up his
I
big
know.
bank balance to all these kids.
Levi, yeah. He needs to plug away.
He does. Well, thank you so much for being on today. It's been really lovely having you. Who's your winner at the moment? If you could just pick one now.
I think my winner will be... Okay, I'm going to say Louis.
Okay. Oh, I do want Louis to win, but I just think he's going to say something to get cancelled. I'm absolutely sure of it. How lovely was Fern? She's like already a bit of a favourite of mine, actually.
I hope she doesn't
really
blend into the, you know, madness of the house, because she's so lovely.
Yeah. I think everyone gravitates towards her already just as a bit of a calming voice.
Mother figure,
absolutely that.
Yeah.
Right, brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank
and we'll
you.
see you again later in the series.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you.
you then.
Bye.
Bye.
His fruit and veg are hanging down in the front. And I find that a little bit disturbing.
Why were you looking?
I wasn't looking. You can't help but see when he was jumping up and down.